Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is Greg, your co-host to the Grilling to Get Away podcast. This episode, we're talking part 2 of ribs. So a few weeks ago, we started doing part 1 where we talked all about prep. This week, we got Ben back. He's back from vacation. He's all rested. He's ready to go. And we're talking ribs. What do we do once we get them on the smoker? How long we're leaving them on there? What's our process look like once we get them on there and stuff like that. So really hope you enjoyed this part 2 of talking ribs. Again, if you're enjoying the conversations that we're having, if you are enjoying the podcast, please continue to like and subscribe and share wherever you listen to this podcast, because we really appreciate it. We really appreciate the reach that we're starting to get. And we know that we're kind of entering into warmer months, so there might be some new people to grilling and barbecuing. And we hope that they find their way to our podcast if they're looking to learn and grow and stuff like that. So, again, we appreciate you all. And here is the part 2 of ribs. Cheers. Oftentimes, life is demanding, stressful, and just won't stop. When needing to take a break, we like to light up the charcoal and crack open a cold one. The Grilling to Get Away podcast is an ongoing conversation about all things barbecue and grilling, from our backyard to yours. So if you sometimes don't know what the heck you're doing, if you like to learn, and if you don't take yourself too seriously, you're in the right spot. Okay, hey, what is going on, everyone? This is Greg, your co-host for the Grilling to Get Away podcast, and I'm here with my buddy
This is Ben. We're back again.
Back again. Hey, welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, good to be back. We tried to do it from Florida, but didn't work out. So we're gonna.
You take a little vacation, so we tried to actually do a virtual type of podcast recording, but that didn't work out.
Yeah, well, we're learning as we go, so we'll make sure we figure it out for next time and clean it up a bit.
Yeah. So how was the trip?
Good, man. Good. It was nice to get out of the north for a little bit, head south and thaw out, and came back. And I mean, the weather's been decent since we've been back too. So I can't complain at all.
You missed the wind, the freezing rain, the snow. We had just about everything while you were gone.
Good. Yeah, it's a good time to get out of here then.
Yeah, for sure. So the big question I have for you is, did you have a chance to grill while you were in Florida?
We didn't. There was we stayed at stayed at a resort. They had them where you could rent them out, but it didn't really seem like they were allowing people to rent them out.
Really?
Yeah, it had rained a few times and stuff, but yeah, they kind of had them. They just said temporarily closed or whatever, so I didn't even bother asking. But so yeah, no, we did not, but I did. So we got back late Saturday, and I fired up the grill yesterday.
Okay.
To do some chicken. So yeah, right away got back, and hey, I gotta light this thing up.
Nice.
So yeah, and then I took out a rump roast for today. That gonna do. That's currently just hanging out in a bit of ground pounder, just kind of soaking it in. And I'm really excited. Gonna probably try and run that a good 6 hours. I'm pumped. So,
okay, that's So you're doing that today?
I am. After we're done, lighting it up again. Back to back days, nice. Greg. I went a week without it and kind of got the itch.
I know. Yeah, I know.
And yeah. So it feels good. Feels good to be back and have my own grill. They had some gas grills down there and stuff, and I just not what I'm used to using, and you got to use all their utensils, and they have a bunch of rules, and there's kind of some other grills right there too, and kind of right by each other, and when the weather was good and they did have them open, it was like they were everyone was right there, and I was like, I really don't want to talk to a lot of people right now, so
yeah,
I just kind of just kept going, and
so you actually got away and you didn't grill. So yeah, the opposite of what we do here.
The opposite, yeah, okay. Yeah. So
well, that's good, man. Glad you're back.
It's good to be back.
Good to see you.
I missed you.
Yeah, I bet you did. All right. Well, what are we drinking today before we jump in?
Matt, well, all right. So It's St. Patrick's Day this week.
It is
it's coming up. Coming up, what, Thursday, right? So, got some good, just old-fashioned, all-natural Guinness. And the classic.
All natural Guinness.
All natural Guinness,
you can find this in nature, huh?
Hey, you don't question it.
Okay. All right, well, let's crack this open.
Yeah, it's the one with the little balls in there, Greg.
Oh, yeah, these are the tall boys. 14.9 ounces. Oh. And she's bubbling. All right, yeah, now it's a party.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Hey, thanks for, I had to take a week where I actually buy my own beer. So
that's tough, huh?
I'm glad you're back.
Yeah. Someone's got to support you, huh?
Yeah. Okay, well, this is part 2 of we're getting back into ribs. And, part 1 we did a few weeks back, and we were talking about how do we prep them? How do we get them ready before we put them on the smoker? So today we're actually going to be talking about, once we get them on, what's our process? What does that look like? So Ben, when was the last time you did some ribs?
Yeah, so I did them right before we left. I did them. I talked about doing the dock soda, and I gave it a shot, and I took them out the night before. So I did them on Sunday. I took them out like Friday night, let them soak in the dock soda. After they kind of thawed out, so it was about Saturday afternoon into Sunday morning, and then Sunday morning I kind of drained the juices out of there, and then put a ton of fire for effect on there.
Okay.
And
sweet heat
all day, and wrapped them in the saran wrap, and we left for the day.
Okay.
we were out and about trying to get some stuff done to get ready for the trip, and we got home a little later
okay.
than I had planned on, which happens. And
how long were they soaking?
Overnight. I soaked them overnight, and then like I said, just hit them with the fire for effect that morning.
Okay.
And wrapped them. So put them back in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really didn't get them going until about 3:30.
Okay.
And probably got them on, started the grill about 3:30, got them on about 4. It's one of those things too, Greg, where, you have those cooks where you're like, oh boy, I'm going to be up against the clock on this one. It's got to get them done before the kids need to go to bed. They have school the next day.
Oh, yeah.
They're hungry. I'm like,
eat at 9:00 at night.
Yeah. I mean, I would have preferred to cook them that long, but just started running out of time. So had the temp a little bit hotter than what I wanted to, wrapped them a little bit earlier than what I wanted to, but no,
okay.
they still turned out good. But yeah, again, I wish I had. It's always up against the clock.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about maybe if you had some more time. So what temperature are you getting your smoker to?
Oh man, if I have the time, I want to look around like 275.
Okay.
I'd say that's kind of again, I guess it kind of depends on which smoker I'm using. But if I'm doing my typical out on the Weber, I want about 275, and I really want to just hit them with some heavy smoke for a solid hour and a half, 2 hours if I can, and kind of wrap them at that point.
Okay. So when you set up your Weber, you're doing indirect heat. So you're pushing the coals. Are you doing like your racks in the middle and the coals on both sides? Or are you doing it like one side has the coals and the other side has, is open? Yeah,
I do it. One side has the coals, the other side's open. So I got my meat on the back side, and then I can just let them smoke. I don't have to worry about, that way I can I know which side is going to be kind of hotter.
Sure.
I don't have to worry about like, this side's, heating up a little bit faster than this side is. And, I can kind of keep it, gauged that way. Plus it's a little bit easier to add, the charcoal in there if I need to add some.
Yeah, that's true. So you got your Weber set up indirect heat, or if you have a smoker, you got your smoker getting up to temp.
Yep.
About, 275 is how you like it. I'm usually a little lower, like 250. Okay. And then what type of wood or what type of flavored chunks or chips? Are you using chunks? Chips?
Yeah, I'm going with chunks. I'll be honest, I prefer the chunks better, especially for like a longer smoke like that. The wood chips, I feel like they go pretty quick.
Yeah.
And burn through them pretty fast. With the chunks, I can I don't have to add them as often and stuff. So that allows me to keep the grill lid closed for longer periods of time. And, with the chips, it's kind of like, okay, well, it seems like you burn through them pretty fast, right? Mm-hmm. So the chunks, nice, slow, just kind of letting off that smoke and stuff and last for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your preferred, flavor for your wood that you're using when you're doing ribs?
Man, for the ribs, honestly, I really like to do the apple whenever any kind of pork really is. Apple's my go-to. I also do cherry, but most of the time I think I'm gonna throw apple on there. This time I used apple. I also had hickory. I thought about using that one, kind of to go around. But again, with having like the dock soda and stuff, I went apple.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I like apple as well when I'm doing any type of pork. I did some ribs the other day. I used some cherry chunks. So I do like the lighter kind of fruitier flavors when I'm doing maybe my ribs. Okay, so you got the temp up to where you want it to be. You got your smoke rolling there, and then what are you doing next?
Kind of just watching that temp, continue to check it. Making sure, that I'm not over smoking it. Like I don't want to throw 5 giant chunks of wood in there, because otherwise then it just kind of turns the meat sour and it just overpowers it and kind of takes away any other flavor that, that you added to it. So typically, I'll do,
So are you, so before you throw the ribs on there, are you looking for the color of the smoke that you got?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking for a lighter smoke.
Yeah.
Nothing real heavy where it's going to, maybe.
Where it's just
black,
plowing out of there and stuff. Just got a nice, fine, easy, just making sure it's started. Typically I'll wait. I'll give it about 15 minutes before I'll throw my ribs on.
Okay.
So first again, dump the coals out, get to temp.
Yep.
Then I'll put the wood chips in there, the chunks.
A little bit before you.
A little bit, yeah. So I'll give it about 10 minutes, just kind of make sure that they're rolling pretty good. The smoke's coming, but it's not like that dark black or, just billowing out of there and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm looking for. Just kind of a nice, again, I want it to have just a kiss of smoke, Greg.
Sure, yeah.
And we don't want to overpower it.
Yeah, I think what some people call it is a blue smoke. So when it's coming out of your chimney or out of your vent, it's a nice light, maybe even a bluish color. Because you're right. If it gets too dark, all that stuff is going onto your meat and can sometimes make it taste I don't want to say sour, but you get the burnt, the almost campfire type of taste to your meat.
Sometimes if that's what you're looking for. Again, I've cooked over the campfire plenty of times and stuff, but
not that heavy dark though.
Not with that. No. Again, not with my ribs. That's not necessarily what I'm looking for.
Okay, so now you got a good smoke rolling here. The temp is holding where you want it to be. Now you're throwing your racks on. Mm-hmm. Anything you're doing aside from just throwing them on? Anything else you're checking?
So obviously the grates, I want to make sure that they're nice and kind of greased up a bit. So I don't want to lose any meat on there. Typically with the ribs, I don't have to worry about that, but I want to make sure my grates are nice and clean. I want to make sure if I'm going to spritz, I kind of have that ready to go too. This time I did do that. I used, I used the combination of the dock soda and some water. Just did kind of
for your spritz?
Yep.
Okay. And you got a bottle that you bought at the store. Yep. Like a spray bottle. And do you put a tinfoil pan underneath and any
I have. Yeah, I have. I didn't this time.
Okay.
I didn't this time. This time honestly, Greg, this rack that I got was massive. Got it from Myers.
All right, yeah.
The local, and when they had them on sale when you told me about it.
Yep.
Man, and it was huge. It was huge. So what I did, I ended up cutting it in half. And
really?
Yeah, I cut it in half and I stacked them.
Okay.
So
you put one on top of the other?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
so you had the top one was dripping its nice juices down on the bottom one?
Yeah, after about an hour, rotated them.
All right.
Let it ride, then add another wood chip on, a chunk on there and let it go for about another hour and stuff.
Yeah.
Spritzed it as I switched them out and stuff.
So are you checking then every hour? How often are you checking when you got it rolling?
Yeah, typically every 45 minutes to an hour is my goal.
Okay, and then Are you adding more coals on too as you do the like the wood chunks and spritzing, or do you like do some like do you do like the snake method where you have a bunch of unlit coals in there and then you pour the hot coals on top of it?
Yeah, this time I did add a couple. It was a little bit colder. It was still holding temp pretty good, but I could see I was, losing some at the bottom. So yeah, I did add a couple.
Yeah.
Which, adds more of a smoke flavor as well as those kind of get going and stuff.
Sure.
And then it also kind of pairs well with that wood too, because they'll kind of roll, start lighting each other together. So
okay, yeah. So you got your ribs on there.
Mm-hmm.
About every 45 minutes to an hour, you're checking the temp. You're spritzing them. Maybe you're adding some more coals. Maybe you're adding some more wood chunks to get some more smoke rolling.
And depending on like kind of the color, the texture, and stuff, how they're looking.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm checking, I'm like, do I need to wrap them?
Yeah.
Right. I'm as once it kind of builds up that bark and stuff, I don't want to wrap them too soon. Again, I use, so I still want them to get that smoke flavor. Yeah. I have the tin foil that I typically wrap them in.
Yeah.
So I'm not using the butchered paper.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of my go-to for that. But typically I'm not going to wrap them until about like probably 3 hours in.
Okay.
But this time I did, like I said, I had the temp a little bit hotter, so I wrapped them a little bit sooner than normally what I would, but it's always a good time to like spritz them and stuff. Sometimes I'll play around and do some stuff on the actual tin foil. Mm-hmm. I've done it before where I think we've talked about that, where I've coated it in like, done some honey, a little butter, a little bit more fire for effect. Or sometimes if I want a good kick to them, I'll do some fire in the hole on there. So give it some heat. I've also put a little beer on there too.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. So just honestly, just kind of depends on the sweetness I want. I know earlier too, you asked about like a tin pan. So do you typically use a tin pan underneath there?
So if I have my grate, it would be underneath the grate. Right. So like my ribs wouldn't be sitting in there.
Underneath. Yeah.
Yeah. Just maybe to catch some drippings and stuff. So it doesn't, mess up my grill too much.
Sure.
And I don't have to clean too much. But yeah, I mean, I'm very similar. Like I'll, put, when I'm using my Weber or even my char griller, I'll be doing offset smoking. So I'll have all my coals on one side and then the racks on the other side. And, I'm very similar to you. Like I look for, texture. I look for color. I'm not necessarily prescribed to a certain time. I know there's a lot of different types out there. The 3-2-1 method. Yeah. 3 hours you unwrapped. 2 hours wrapped, and then the last hour unwrapped. And then there's also other variations to that, like a 2-2-1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just looking, kind of gauging it, and usually it falls within that 3 hour, like the first 3 hours is when I'm looking to wrap.
Yeah. Does it depend, Greg, too, on what you're feeling that day, right? So do you want, I guess, how tender do you want the meat? Do you want, to pull the bones out?
Yeah.
Do you want to eat it off the bone and stuff? I mean, so I think, does that kind of come into play too on your temp, how long you're cooking for, whether you wrap them, how soon you wrap them and all that?
Yeah, like the ones I just did the other day, like I had all day.
So there you go. What a good problem to have.
I know. I wasn't in a rush on these, and these are the ones I wanted to fall off the bone.
Yep.
Like, so we were going to have these for supper. It wasn't a competition or anything like that. But yeah, so I had plenty of time, and I was just really kind of going off of look and feel. So after the first 3 hours, temp was holding real nice. And then I looked at them, they're starting to pull back a little bit from the bone. So I was like, all right, let's get these wrapped. And so I sprayed them down a little bit more.
Okay. What'd you spray with, Greg?
Actually similar. So,
nice. There, boy.
Yeah. So I had some Doc soda, and so it's a pepper soda, like Dr. Pepper. Mm-hmm. And then I watered it down.
Hint of cherry too. Yeah.
So I watered it down just a bit. And that's what I was using for my spritz.
Nice. Yeah.
Yep. And then when I wrap, I used tinfoil this time. Mm-hmm. So I double wrap. So I put 2 pieces of tinfoil down.
Always smart to double wrap.
Yeah. You never know when it's going to break.
Yeah.
And then when I put them down, and this will ask you next is, so I put a little layer of honey. I put some brown sugar, and then I put some butter.
Yep.
Put it down. I'll spray my ribs down one more time, and then I'll put it meat side down. So my meat side is down into that. And then on the back end, before I wrap it, I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'll put honey on the back side. I'll put brown sugar and some butter. I'll spray it down, and then I'll wrap it.
Yeah.
And then I put it back on the meat side down.
Yeah.
So the meat's sitting in the juices.
Yeah, and then it kind of allows it to flow through on the back end too and kind of get down there.
Yep.
As long as you get that membrane off, it should just kind of creep in there for you and get that flavor in there.
Yep. And that's the only thing that's the only prep or only tip I kind of took away from some of the competition.
Grill tip from Greg.
Yeah, that, doing it to both sides.
Sure.
So not just the meat side, doing the same exact thing to the bone side. And I think it's helped, really step up my rib game, in the backyard.
Yeah.
The family loves it. So I've always had good outcomes when I do that. So double wrap it, there's a tip. So in case you need to do that, and I was using aluminum foil. And then, if you're putting so many additional flavors on there, make sure that, you're doing it to both sides and not just the meat side.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go. I mean, so Greg, we both use Dock soda on this one. Do you have kind of another spritz method that you'll use? Yeah.
So, one that I really liked and it really adds to it is, I've used some Jack Daniels in the past.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's a Jack Daniels water and then a little, apple juice mixture. And, I'll mix that up a little bit and then I'll use that as my spritz. So real nice flavors. And if I'm using like that type of maybe more of a mellow type of spritz, depends on the flavors. Again, I'm probably not using like my cherry wood. I'm probably using like maybe a Jack Daniel's chip or maybe something like a pecan.
Okay.
A lighter wood. Not so much fruity flavor because I want a different type of flavor when I bite into that.
Nice. Okay. No, that's awesome. And then what about, you mentioned the drip pan. Do you ever put anything in the drip pan? Like any kind of water, like apple juice or kind of some of that mixed too? So maybe that you get some of the flavor out of that up in there?
Yeah. So if I'm using, and usually when I'm using my Weber Smoky Mountain, it has the water pan in there.
Yep.
If I'm using that, I'll probably put some apple juice in there.
Okay.
Maybe even if I have a little Jack Daniels to spare, maybe put a shot in there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I usually don't have much to spare though.
Yeah, shot for the smoker, shot for me. But sometimes I will. Yeah, if I'm looking to if I have time and I'm like,
all about the time, isn't it?
If I have some time here, I will add a little bit of moisture in there because it's going to cool down.
Yep.
The inside of the smoker or the grill. So if I have time, for sure. If I'm feeling froggy and I want to try something different,
like jumping.
Yep, I will.
All
it's all about what type of mentality am I in? Is this like one I need to get done real quick and this is just to feed my family and have something good, or is it like, hey, let's experiment a little bit, let's see what happens here. It all kind of depends on the mood.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest. So one time, I had the time. Had some stuff at the house, and I did a little water, a little apple juice, put a little applesauce down in there. I did some brown sugar and some mustard. And stirred it all up.
Really?
Put that underneath it.
Okay.
Figuring it'd kind of boil, let it kind of soak into the meat a little bit too. And,
did it work?
Man, I'm hesitant to say yes. I think,
yes, no.
It was,
it's one of those where you live and you learn, right?
Sure.
You try something. I
figured it was worth a shot to see, would I really tell a difference? And I don't think there was a huge difference. So
sometimes that happens. And sometimes you're like, well, that didn't work as what I thought it was going to do. And then I won't do that next time. Yeah.
I mean, I figured, maybe I'll get some added flavor in there and stuff. But I mean, I don't think it really changed anything. So from now on, if I do a drip pan and stuff, I'll typically do kind of a little water and some apple juice or apple cider vinegar. But then just basically use it as a drip pan.
Yeah. Okay. So you got it wrapped. How long are you leaving it wrapped for usually when you're doing your ribs?
Yeah, man, again, it kind of depends on what I'm looking for. So if I want it to be, pull the bones out and stuff, 2 hours.
Sure.
Hour and a half, 2 hours. If not, I'm probably looking 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
So if I want to, eat on the bone and stuff, where I'm pulling it off myself with the teeth.
Yeah.
Then about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. So when you unwrap them, then are you throwing them back on the smoker, or are you done at that point?
A lot depends on my mood, Greg.
Yeah.
So as I've mentioned before, I'm a sauce guy. I like to put sauce on them. So yeah, I will unwrap them. I'll hit them with some sauce and then put them back on for another 15, 20 minutes, probably 15 to 25. By that time, I'm not adding any more charcoal. I'm letting the temp just drop, but I'll probably close,
You're putting
I want it to bake on just a little bit.
Are you putting them right over the coals then?
No.
Okay, still smoking it?
Yep, just on the backside.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of the opposite. Like I'm not
I know you are, yeah.
Not that big of a sauce guy. I have done it before and they turn out well, but usually at that point, again, I'm the same. Like I'm usually looking at an hour and a half, 2 hours wrapped. And then I'll check it. And if it's like the bones are pulling back and it's looking like it's in a good spot, I'll actually take them off, maybe let them smoke for another maybe half hour or so, meat side up.
Do you spritz again too?
No, I'm probably done spritzing at this point.
Yep.
I'm really getting ready to finish. So, and then that last maybe 15 minutes, I'm putting them meat side down right over the coals.
Okay.
I want them to crisp up a little bit on the top. I'm really watching them though. I don't want them to go too much. This is more just like maybe caramelize some of that stuff that's been sitting in there. The brown sugar and stuff. Crisp them up just a little bit, and then I'm pulling them off, and I'm getting them ready to slice up.
Yeah. What's your temp at about at this point?
Yeah, I mean, again, like it's usually still between the 200, 225-ish.
So dropped, about what, 25, 50 degrees?
Yeah. I try and keep it either between 225 and 250 the entire time. And, again, like towards the end, it's, we're getting ready to pull them off. I'm probably not going to add more coals on there. I'm kind of let it ride.
Yep.
And then when they look ready, if they're ready to go, I'll smoke them just a little bit more. I'll open up the tin, keep some of those juices though. Don't pour that stuff out.
Yep.
And then I'll take them out, put them right over the coals, meat side down to char them up a little bit. But then guess what? They're going right back into that tin foil with the juices. And then that's where they'll kind of rest until.
For how long?
Yeah, again, maybe 15 minutes.
Okay.
At that point, I'm done. I'm putting them back in the juices. Maybe I'll close it up just a little bit more. Again, keeping some of that moisture, keeping it heated.
Still cooking a little bit.
Yeah, while I'm pulling them inside and getting them prepped to slice up.
So how often are you checking the temp? Like with your meat thermometer, sticking a thermometer in there? Or do you keep one in like almost the whole time?
Yeah, for ribs, no, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
Again, I'm like the ones I just did, I'm really going off a look.
Yep. The feel. Yeah.
Once those,
tell,
once those ribs start pulling back and the meat kind of compresses a little bit, so you start seeing the ribs, kind of poke out.
The bones a little bit more. Yeah.
They're getting ready to be done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I go a little bit more off a look. Obviously you can, use a thermometer if you need to do that. And I think again, like with any pork, you're looking at maybe like 203, 207 for fall off the bone, maybe 197 if you're looking for, competition style, you can see your teeth mark in it. But I'm usually just looking at them and going off of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. I would agree. I really don't use the meat thermometer too often on the when I'm doing ribs.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you pull them off, you slice them up. Are you saucing them anymore?
At that point, no. If I've already sauced them and stuff, no. Because I want it to kind of, I want it to be like sticky. I don't want it to be like dripping.
Sure.
But kind of have that. But again, where I'm gonna get it on my face.
Yeah.
So
you're a messy eater. Okay, well, good. So you pull them off, you slice them up, individually sliced. I'm a sauce on the side kind of guy. If I need sauce, like I'll put some sauce on my plate and then I'll dip it in if I need it. But yeah, what else? Anything else that you're thinking of that we're missing as far as, once you get the ribs on the smoker and then you're serving them?
No, I don't think so. I think kind of the tough part too is if you're going to do a side with them. When to get that on there, if you're going to do potatoes or, whatever. That's again, more of like a timing thing, kind of pairing it and stuff and just kind of knowing if you're going to do potatoes, how long you want to do it. Yeah. And kind of having a good idea of, typically when your meat's going to be done, when you want to eat. But now as far as the ribs go, no, I don't think so. I don't, once I wrap them at that point, the only really thing I'm doing after that, just kind of checking them here and there, again, about every hour, and just adding the sauce at the end.
Yeah.
And by that time, again, like I'm usually down 200. So
yeah,
just kind of letting them settle.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting all fired up about ribs right now. Yeah. No, that's good. No, we have very similar styles, just a little different at the end, I think.
Yep.
No, that's good. That's awesome. So I think we kind of covered just about everything there. So what, I guess my question is, what do you got coming up this week? Anything, you got the rump roast?
Got the rump roast. Yeah. Today? Doing the rump roast today. Like I said, did chicken yesterday. That was, again, just kind of keeping it simple, getting the grill back going, getting the feel back. You know what I mean, Greg? And then I did pick up, like we mentioned, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So gonna be doing some corned beef.
Yep.
Really excited about that.
Good.
So it's gonna be a good week. Lots of meat, lots of grilling, lots of getting away.
It's gonna be a good week for that weather wise too. It's gonna be warmer. We're up in the 40s and 50s now, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it stays like this. So.
Yep. Make sure you have enough charcoal so you get through those cooks.
Yeah. Just picked up another bag today. So
okay, good. Yeah,
I'm excited.
I need the resupply. Well, good. Yeah, same thing here. I got some corned beef I'm going to be putting on here this week.
Okay.
I did the rack of ribs the other day, and then also my buddy gave me a venison roast.
Ooh.
So I think we're going to do not this next one, but maybe in April sometime we're going to do some experimenting with that.
Nice. I like
that venison roast, so we could talk about it here.
Yeah.
Because he gave it to me because he said he needed some help with.
Sure.
He did one, and it didn't turn out too well, so he's giving it to us, and we'll try and help out a little bit. Yeah.
we'll take a shot at it.
I'll always take free meat.
Yeah. I know you will.
Yeah.
Free meat and free beer.
All right. Well, that wraps up part 2 of the ribs. And if you wanted to, again, listen to how we prepare them and stuff like that, you can go back to part 1 in the podcast. And then, again, if you are enjoying, if you're liking, if you're getting some value from this podcast, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, give us a shout out. We really appreciate it. But we're enjoying ourselves having these conversations, and hopefully you're all enjoying listening to us talk.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
Get out and grill.
Yeah. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Cheers.